What's up, everyone? We're still throwing ideas out there to help people with Bible study. These are for every Christian who wants to grab all the wisdom that God made available to us through His Word. Realtors, realtors will sometimes say that the three most important factors in selling a house are location, location, location. In this clip, I want to remind you of the three most important topics of interpreting the Bible accurately. They are context, context, and context. A great example of this is Philippians 4, verse 13 from the Christian Standard Bible that says, "I am able to do all things through Him who strengthens me." Some manuscripts, and therefore some translations, say, "I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me." If I were a translator, I would go with the best and the oldest manuscripts, not just the ones I like the most. So I think that the best translation really is Him who strengthens me, not Christ, but Him. But of course, if you ask me, or probably any other Christian who likes those translations, who is the one who strengthens you and how do you know it? We will all say it is Christ who strengthens us. We know it because of the context. However, other than that, many Christians don't seem too concerned about the context of this verse. Many Christians should probably confess with me that we make a big deal about context whenever it helps us, but we conveniently forget about context when we like what the verse seems to be saying all by itself. This verse, all by itself, seems to be saying that since I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me, God is promising me that whatever I want, I can have. I can be the next great pro basketball star in the world. Don't laugh. When I was young, I literally took my basketball to bed and slept with it. I considered it a source of great pride that my mom went to college basketball games in Las Cruces while she was pregnant with me. When I would walk to and from school, I would try to dribble my basketball all the way without looking at it, of course, just like they taught us at basketball camp to do to improve our dribbling skills. My mom has 6 siblings, and I am the only one of all my cousins that never went to my granddad's Christian singing camp because instead, I was a rebel. I went to at least one basketball camp every summer, sometimes even more than one. So even though I was not a great shooter, and how should I say it, I was the opposite of a great sprinter, that's for sure, but I could still say the Bible tells me I can do all things, so I can become the next pro basketball superstar. But in the process of reading the whole book of Philippians, I was at first embarrassed, but was in the long run encouraged. Listen to Philippians 4:13 with some of the surrounding verses. Remember that the author of Philippians is Paul, one of the greatest missionaries of the early Christian church. He wasn't trying to get rich writing self-help books. Instead, he was planning Christian churches, even when it was illegal. Because of that, he ended up in jail, which was where he wrote several of the 13 of his letters which ended up in the New Testament, including Philippians. Philippians 4:10 says, "I rejoiced in the Lord greatly because once again you renewed your care for me. You were, in fact, concerned about me, but lacked the opportunity to show it. I don't say this out of need, for I have learned to be content in whatever circumstances I find myself. I know both how to make do with little, and I know how to make do with a lot. In any and all circumstances, I have learned the secret of being content, whether well-fed or hungry, whether in abundance or in need." And here it is, verse 13, "I am able to do all things through Him who strengthens me." Still, verse 14, "You did well by partnering with me in my hardship." Well, I was embarrassed because it's very clear that Philippians 4:13 is not a blank check that I can use to manipulate God into making me a pro basketball player. But I became very encouraged because what this passage does say in its context and in the context of the whole Bible is that if I seek first God's kingdom and not my self-centered desires, that no matter what circumstances I have to live through, I can be content because of Jesus Christ who strengthens me. In the eternal scheme of things, that's even better than being a star. So read the entire Bible over and over. Earnestly pray for God to help you see the big picture, and then all the little nuggets will be even better. Every time you hear, read, or study the Bible, don't forget the importance of these 3 things: context, context, context.